things.
Okay.
What's happening?
Okay. What makes you different and your show different and Rain different from the competition on other radio stations?
Well, one, because we from here.
That's
We from DC, run DC. I have a passion for the area, and I'm not your typical radio dude. I just happen to radio actually chose me as a job, and so I try to bring something different and keep that entertainment coming every day. And that's been blessed to be at this position for this long, because normally a radio gig in one market is about 4. You're lucky if you get 4 years, and then you go on somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It seems like stations play a lot of commercials. Why can't you just play music all the time and stop talking?
Because you got to pay the bills.
Okay.
How radio, what you got to understand is radio is a business, business first. And our target audience is females 18 to 34 years of age.
Okay.
The main reason why we target women 18 to 34 because they go shopping. And they buy or dictate the products that get moved in the market. And so for us to be able to have our careers and be able to get paychecks, we have to make money, and that's how we make money, through advertising.
Okay, so advertising is mainly a big part of radio.
Absolutely.
Okay, this might be a funny one for you since you did that little, said you ain't gonna do that trick for us, but for years, you know, the old heads claim that contemporary music has nothing to do with the talent and everything to do with popularity and marketing. What role do you think popularity plays in the success of the new artists? And the last part was, could you do the stanky leg?
I can't do the stanky leg. I'll tell you that one now. Nah, it's kind of different right now. Popularity means a lot. Soulja Boy is a great example. The way he marketed himself, and he got so many fans that you could not ignore him and what he did. And then he got everybody doing whatever he wanted to do, and he kind of forced his hand. So I think it's great. I think you have to be a genius at what you do, and you have to figure out a way to be different than everybody else. Like, I got this big bin in my office full of independent artists from the DMV. Out of that bin, maybe 1% is really good. 99% of it sounds the same. And I call a lot of them back, and I try to explain, dog, you can't be trying to sound like Lil Wayne or somebody else. They already established. You need to be you, and figure out a way to set yourself apart from everybody else, because it's tough out here if you don't have that marketing budget, and you can't get those videos, and you can't get on 106 in Park, and all of that, then you got to figure out a way to be 10 times better than everybody else. And Soulja Boy is a great example.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. We'll see you later in that Q&A session.
All right, I'm out.
All right, man.
I want everyone to know that we have a special guest here tonight. His name is Easy from KYS. Easy.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Born in Brooklyn, raised everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brooklyn. Really, how I got into this business, if that's your question, I always had a passion for music and the radio. When I was probably in like the 7th to 8th grade, I was always collecting songs and, cassettes, and I had my stereo system out in front of our house and stuff. And I set up the speakers and everything, cut the music on loud, for the community, not realizing that I was practicing for what I do today. And one day, I was blessed with the opportunity to go into an actual radio studio. And when I got in there, I said, this is it. This is what I want to do with the rest of my life. And from then on, I made a plan, and here I am today.
All right, you say you from all over. You also, was a radio host all over, right?
Yeah, I've been on the air in Dallas, Philadelphia, Chicago, Baltimore, San Francisco, and in Washington, D.C. 2 times.
Okay, yeah, I see why you say everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, is there any difference in the music that's being played and what's talked about on the radio all over?
Different markets play different songs, but primarily if it's a hit, if you got like a dream, rocking that thing, like that's gonna get played everywhere. We're kind of like what you see on BET's 106 in Park or MTV. We play everything that they're playing.
Okay. Well, thank you. This was sexual notice. I was surprised, but thank you. We'll see you later on in the Q&A session.
Peace.
All right. For those celebrities or politicians and big name companies that stay in the spotlight, their bread and butter is the public relations specialist. The public relations specialist helps to shape public opinion, from running campaigns for companies that need to put on a strong message to the public, to helping celebrities and politicians carve the image they want the public to believe. This is the job of the public relations specialist. The Yes We Can and the Change You Can Believe in campaign, both from the recently concluded elections, displayed the work of skillful public relations professionals. To shine more light on the work of this very important medium, please help me welcome Mr. Frank Phillips, president of Phillips & Allen LLC, an associate professor here at Prince George's Community College. Sound like you got some fans out there.
Yeah, the professors.
Could you briefly tell us a little bit about yourself?
As you know, my name is Frank Phillips. I run Phillips & Allen Public Relations, and I also have the great privilege of being a professor here at Prince George's Community College as well, in the Communications Theater Department. My background is mainly in government public relations. I spent about 21 years as an infantry officer and public affairs officer for the United States Army, working as a Pentagon spokesperson and doing a variety of things in that area. Then went on to Capitol Hill, working with the Honorable Congresswoman Maxine Waters. Served there, kind of cut my teeth in political PR, and then went and started the business in 1998, and mainly focused in nonprofit initially, then went into government, did a little corporate PR, and I've kind of rested in my niche, which is government public relations.
Okay. Would you consider someone that works in public relations as an agent to their clients?
Yes, in a way. In some areas of public relations, when we talk about publicity, okay, if you're working for an individual who's selling a book or you're working for an actor, we call those publicists. And then you have different types of individuals that would be called public information officers, or you call them public information specialists, or you may call them public affairs, or you have public relations or corporate communication folks that work specifically for a corporation. But yes, you could call that an agent in some respects.
Okay. How does a public relations specialist find out who to target and how to target them?
Okay. To kind of simplify things, if I wanted to target an organization, I have to understand who the organization is, who are the people that operate within the organization's system. The organization has a goal, and if they need to move in one direction, much like Barack Obama wanted to move forward, he needed to know the different constituencies. He needed to know the different ethnic constituencies. He needed to know the different political constituencies, and know exactly what it is that they need to know in order to move his agenda forward. So the public affairs or the public relations specialist has to have an understanding of all of the different constituencies within that organization, and that's how he finds out.
Okay, how do you get advertisers or companies to endorse your clients?
Okay, in my particular specialty, working for government contracts, we don't deal with that particular thing. If we do want to advertise, we look at that in two ways. We look at getting the word out to the public, and we can get it out in two ways. We can get it out by virtue of what we call earned media, which is I write a press release, or I get a PSA that gets placed on a radio spot or on a television spot. I write a press release that gets placed into some form of print media, or it may get picked up in some new media. But the benefits of that is, if I get earned media, then the value of that media is 10 times as more as if I advertise. It's just like if I paid you to say that Frank Phillips is a great guy, then most people aren't going to really have much, that's not going to have much credibility. But if you went out on your own, much as me sending a press release to a news agency, and they said I was a great guy, then that's going to have 10 times the impact of me buying advertisement. So we try to focus on the bread and butter of the press releases, the PSAs, so that we can get that earned media. But if the client has the money to go out there and buy advertising, we do that, but we let them know what the potential of that is.
Okay, quick question. Some of our guests have suggested that writing is important. How does an average person become good at writing, and what makes a good writer great?
A good writer takes practice. I mean,